welcome back to the Standard American YouTube channel, where we love these delectable, delicious, succulent yoders. Today we're going to do a little bit of maintenance on the old Bartholomew here. You like that? We're going to show you how to change your oil and what exactly do you need. And exactly what we need 7 things. And one of them is actually more important than everything else. All right, so Shell Rotella T4 1540 genuine Toyota oil filter. You got your funnel, you got a 9/16 Speedy or a 14. 9/16 is a little bit bigger than a 14, but I like it because it is nice and ratcheting. Some gloves and a nice blanket to lay on if you're rolling around in the dirt with me. And the most important thing, I cannot stress this enough, you have to stay hydrated no matter what you do. Oh, so refreshing. All right, so what we're doing, I'm surprised I can do that with one hand. So what we're gonna do, this old thing, look how dirty it's getting. So we're gonna change the oil in this thing, and we're gonna show you how to. It's quick, it's easy, and it should take about 20 minutes at the most, and that's with you staying perfectly hydrated for whatever you have, whatever your buddies left in your fridge, over the weekend, whatever. Thank you, Jeff. Let's get into it. First things first, always use protection, kids. Get your oil pan, which I forgot to mention in the beginning of the 8 things that you need. Pop that little cap there. Slide her on down. Get your little nap time over here, or some of you military guys, whoopee. And you just kind of hang out. Now you can do this hot or cold. So I normally let it idle for 5 minutes, 4 minutes, just to get things moving around in there. These are really nice. I like these. Here you go. Look at that. It's a little overdue. Sorry, girl. So we're just gonna let that drain for a second. And while we're doing that, we can get that oil filter off of there. It's that little guy right there. One very important step, like I said earlier, hydrate. Oh. So, once you crack your drain plug, relax. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Got leaking some coolant there. Ruh-roh. I gotta get me an overflow, a little reservoir. I don't think that's leaking. The oil cooler is definitely leaking. That thing is a mess. And it also helps, little quick tip. See how the sump, the drain plug is all the way in the back? It's not necessarily the lowest point. So another little quick tip, kind of park it on an incline. It's where you try and get your drain plug lower than your sump, lower than the lowest point, to get all that, try and get all that old oil out of there. Check the belts, which my power steering is loose. Same thing with my alternator. Alright, so now it's coming to a stop. So what you want to do, sometimes if you're lucky, or if you hit up LC Engineering or wherever, you can get your drain plug, your oil pan plug. You can get one with a magnet right in there. That'll help with the metal shavings, kind of collect and keep everything off your crank and the bearings and all that. And make sure one crush washer will normally last about 3-4 oil changes. If you just flip it, it forces everything to reseal itself, reseat, and molds everything else. So put your plug back in. Keep it a nice snug. Keep your tools clean. Take care of your tools, they'll take care of you. Okay. Now this time, this part you want to back up. Get your oil pan. Alright, you want to reach up there. Your oil filter. Grab it like it owes you money. And hopefully it'll come off. Which mine is moving. And you want your oil pan right under it, because see that? It's gonna start leaking. And you wanted to give it a second. She was really needing an oil change. It is all black. Well, not black, but you get the point. Okay, just takes a little finagling. Drop your, there you go. Get your new oil filter. Save your box. Plastic on it. Nice. See this little O-ring here? Take some of your oil from your old filter, spread it on here on the new filter O-ring, because you don't want that gasket to get bound up. Take your new oil filter, and also another perk about having that oil on the O-ring is you don't need to necessarily crank the filter down as tight, because you're getting a better seal once that seal's all lubricated. Then you take your strong hand. It's my strong hand. And you get up in there. Then you really grab it like it owes you money. Give it a good twist as best you can. Chances are it will be good enough. A lot of people, they tend to over crank these things, these oil filters, and man, I've seen some where you actually had to cut these things off. It is not fun. Okay, so once the oil filter's on, of course, clean up after yourself. No one likes a dirty undercarriage. Your box, your oil filter box, and you have to recycle these. You can't throw them away. So drain it a little bit. Put it in your new box. Leave it right there. Okay. Take your funnel. Take your rotella, And another quick tip, normally if it's a new vehicle or you're not familiar with it or something, before you drain all the fluid, make sure you can take your fill cap off and your oil filter. Make sure you can take it off before you actually drain the oil, especially if it's your daily driver or whatever. Now the reason we're using, I know it says diesel oil, but I'll show you there's a reason for that. Now I'm not sure exactly how many quarts, because for some reason hashtag Revive Ruby, she takes a little bit more oil than mine does. Probably because we have a bunch of oil coolers on that thing, on the trans and on the motor, so its capacity is different. So I just go a little bit, maybe 2 quarts worth. Give it a second to calm down. While I'm waiting, while you're under the engine bay, make sure your motor's cold. Don't open this when it's hot. Stick your pinky down in there, check your coolant level, which I have none. Yep. So it's a good practice every time you're under the hood here. Check everything. Check your coolant. If you're not doing an oil change, check the oil. And if you have an automatic trans, which I do not, you would have a secondary dipstick for the trans right here. I believe it's orange. See how there's nothing on there? Still need to add some. So there's a reason we're using the T4 1540 Shell Rotella, because this oil is really high in zinc, and these Toyota motors, to my knowledge, the 95 and under, so the OBD1 and under, the steel really likes that high zinc content. And some of the new oils today, the Castrol, the Mobile, which they're okay, they get the job done, but they don't take to the steel as well as you know, the Rotella. And a lot of people use the Chevron Delo 400, and which is pretty much not quite the same thing, but it is ultra high in zinc. So these Toyota motors, they do like it. And as far as the weight goes, I never really had a problem with it. I used to run 1040, and it was, I mean, it was fine. I ran it probably down to, you know, 30, probably high 30s, low 40 degrees, you know, as long as you're running, you know, antifreeze instead of water. But as far as the weight, these motors, I mean, they love that oil. And I forgot one thing. Got a little surprise for you. So hopefully I didn't fill, oh man. You know, I'm not a fan of additives. If you have a leak, fix a leak. If you have, you know, something else going on, you know, fix the seal, fix it correctly. And if I am gonna add any additives, I would have added Lucas or anything like that. But so I just tried this motor coat. It's an oil additive, And this engine, as well as my buddy's Nissan and hashtag Revive Ruby, they love this stuff. It's a hyper lubricant. It goes in with your engine oil, and it actually goes in molecularly. It gets in the actual steel and the aluminum. It actually impregnates the steel where you can actually see it span out. And this stuff creates a barrier between friction parts, high friction parts, you know, bearings, lifters, you know, whatever, and it creates a really, really fine barrier that is by far, I've never had anything like this, and I like it. I've never been one for additives, but there's a YouTube channel on there. It's I believe well, he does farm testing comparisons, different oils, different spark plugs, different fuel treatments, different octane boosters, and he puts them up against, you know, one another. And he actually does wear tests, and he did this versus the Lucas oil stabilizer that I would always use, and this stuff spanked the crap out of the stuff that I used to always swear by. It's a little pricey. I think this is like about 30 bucks, but you only use, I think it's what, so the oil crankcase, it's 2 ounces per quart. So I think this is just under, I think it's like 4 ounces or 3.8 or 4.2, something like that. So we'll use 8 ounces, maybe a little more. We'll see if I can, see if I didn't pour in too much oil. I think we're good. And I know this motor is gonna come out here pretty quick. So some of you might be saying, you know, well, since you're going to swap in the 1UZ, you know, why are you using, you know, why are you taking care of this motor? Well, I'm not going to throw this motor away. I mean, this thing, it runs perfect. So I'm going to, you know, keep it. I'm not into abusing things just for the sake of, unless I purchase them specifically for that application, that fact. So we're going to use 8 ounces. Like I said, I'm not one for additives. But I do recommend this stuff. This stuff is, I mean, you can put it on, I think they did tests where you could put it on a diesel, like a glass of water, and they had the oil cap open while it was running, and man, it was just vibrating the hell out of this glass of water. And they put this stuff in there, and it quieted that motor down within 10-15 seconds of it being put in there. And it is such, I mean, it really is amazing stuff. Pricey, but amazing. I'd say that's all right, since we were up here. There you go. That thing's slick. And what I was using as far as coolant, the only thing I'll use besides OEM, this stuff is pink. The factory coolant is red. Use red or pink, because anything else has different additives, has different minerals in it that'll literally eat the aluminum in these motors, like that green Prestone, like this thing has. And that's a later video there. But use the if it's a Toyota 95 and older, and I'm pretty sure the 5EZs, so I think those are 99 and under, or no, 01 and under, same deal. Use the pink or red coolant, and I use this. You know, even though the factory tells me to use 530, I'm not going to use 530 on a 300,000 mile motor. I'm sorry, that ain't gonna happen. A little more. And the reason every time you wipe the dipstick when you pull it up, because sometimes it'll smear on the inside of the dipstick neck, and it'll give you a false reading. And if you haven't seen my video about installing dual batteries, this is the star battery. This is the deep cycle accessory battery that I just installed with a full, I mean, this couldn't get any easier with this kit. I mean, it was such a breeze. It was so fast. I think it took me maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours to put everything in there. If you want to check that out, if you're interested, I'll put a card up ahead. You can click off this video after it's done and go check that one out. Let's see where we're at. Man, this thing's thirsty. See how it's starting to come up on the sides there and giving you a false reading when it's actually down here. And you want it right in that grid pattern. See that final line? You want it right just below that. I mean, a hair's width below that. So since my other GoPro decided to die on me, clean up while we're waiting, you guys are back on the handheld unit. Now I get to do everything with one hand. Yay. Let's see what we got here. Oh, one-handed. I don't know how other guys do it. And you guys probably can't see that. My shaky old hands. Almost. That should do it right there. Now you guys, I got the mic on this one, so now you guys can hear me breathing. With my excellent allergenic nostrils. Oh, I'm not too bad. Weather's nice. Man, there's a lot of Toyotas going around today. You always have that sound. Perfect. Okay. That's not my oil cap. And this right here, this has a nice seal. I'll show you. If you're not familiar, it has a nice seal under it. So this doesn't need to be super torqued as well. Just a cinch, just like that. Now the nice part. Now you gotta check for leaks. All right, well, there you have it. Change the oil in 20 or so minutes. So, if you like what I'm doing here, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, make sure you get the notifications the next time I upload. And if I didn't cover anything in this little kind of how-to tutorial video, let me know in the comments below. Hit that like button, and we'll get some more content coming to you. Man, I like these things. Just something about them. 90s. All right, and a video on this old girl coming real soon. I got something really exciting to tell you guys in that video. So that's it. Thanks for watching. And oh, visit my website. I got stickers, I got patches, I got other things. I got a couple little knickknacks that I haven't found on the market for these things, for the 3VZ and the 22RE specifically. I got it up on my website, and check it out, you know, and watch some of my other videos. You know, I don't know, might get a kick out of something. All right, well, thanks for watching. StandardAmericanOutdoors.com if you want to check it out. I would greatly appreciate it. My name's Jeremy. Thanks for watching.